They saw a poor black boy from a small town, but they never imagined he would become the most famous entertainer on earth. He faced discrimination, impossible expectations, and sacrificed his childhood for music. Yet he didn't just break records. He broke barriers that changed the entertainment industry forever. He was born in 1958 in Gary, Indiana, into a working-class African-American family. Growing up, money was scarce, and life was far from easy. From a young age, he spent countless hours rehearsing under the strict guidance of his father. While most children were playing with friends, he was practicing songs and dance routines, chasing perfection. As a lead singer of the Jackson 5, his incredible voice and stage presence quickly amazed audiences. But despite his talent, racial discrimination remained a reality. During the 1960s and 1970s, black artists often received fewer opportunities than white performers. Many television networks and radio stations gave them less exposure, making it difficult to reach mainstream audiences. Instead of giving up, he worked harder than ever. When he launched his solo career, everything changed. His albums Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, Dangerous, History, and Invincible became global successes. He created timeless songs that are still loved today, including Billie Jean, Beat It, Thriller, Smooth Criminal, Man in the Mirror, Black or White, Remember the Time, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, The Way You Make Me Feel, Heal the World, Earth Song, and You Are Not Alone. In 1982, Thriller became the best-selling album in music history, selling more than 70 million copies worldwide. Its groundbreaking music videos transformed the industry forever. He also became one of the first black artists to receive heavy rotation on MTV, helping break racial barriers on a network that had previously given very little airtime to black performers. His success opened doors for countless black artists who followed. His concerts became legendary. During his Bad World Tour, Dangerous World Tour, and History World Tour, he performed before millions of fans across the globe. One of his most remarkable achievements came in Bucharest, Romania, in 1992, where approximately 70,000 fans packed the stadium for one unforgettable concert. In Prague, more than 125,000 people attended his performance, making it one of the largest concert crowds in European history. His History World Tour attracted more than 4.5 million fans across 5 continents, making it one of the highest attended tours ever by a solo artist. Wherever he performed, fans screamed, cried, and waited for days just to catch a glimpse of him. His influence crossed every border, language, and culture. Beyond music, he donated hundreds of millions of dollars to charities, hospitals, children's organizations, and humanitarian causes. He supported more than 30 charitable organizations, using his success to help others around the world. Despite becoming one of the most successful entertainers in history, he continued to face intense media scrutiny, criticism, and personal struggles. Yet his music never stopped inspiring people. He proved that talent has no race. He broke barriers that many believed could never be broken. He inspired generations of musicians, dancers, and performers, and he forever changed the face of popular music. That extraordinary black boy became Michael Jackson, forever known as the King of Pop. He had no university degree, no wealthy sponsors, and very little formal education. Yet his brilliant mind amazed an entire nation and challenged the beliefs of his time. This is the incredible story of Benjamin Ben. In the 1700s, opportunities for African Americans were extremely limited. Most people believed that only those with wealth and formal education could become scientists or inventors. But one man refused to let those beliefs define his future. Born in 1731, Benjamin Banneker grew up on a small farm in Maryland. With only a few years of classroom education, he spent countless hours teaching himself mathematics, astronomy, and science. His curiosity became his greatest teacher, and before long, his remarkable talent began to attract attention. Life was far from easy for Benjamin Banneker. During a time when racial discrimination was deeply rooted, many people doubted that an African American could make important scientific discoveries. He had limited access to books, no formal scientific training, and few opportunities to share his knowledge. Instead of giving up, Banneker continued studying on his own. He carefully observed the stars, solved complex mathematical problems, and spent years improving his understanding of the universe. Every obstacle became another reason to work even harder. Benjamin Banneker's determination eventually paid off. He became one of America's most respected self-taught scientists. His accurate astronomical calculations allowed him to publish yearly almanacs filled with weather predictions, sunrise and sunset times, and astronomical information that many people relied on. He also helped survey the land that would later become Washington, D.C., contributing to one of the nation's most important projects. Banneker didn't stop there. He wrote a famous letter to Thomas Jefferson, challenging him to live up to the ideals of equality written in the Declaration of Independence. His words became an early and powerful call for racial justice. Today, Benjamin Banneker is remembered as one of America's first famous self-taught mathematicians and astronomers, publishing highly accurate astronomical almanacs, helping survey the land that became Washington, D.C., inventing a wooden striking clock inspired by a pocket watch, using his intelligence and achievements to advocate for racial equality. Benjamin Banneker's story reminds us that true greatness doesn't depend on where you come from or how much education you receive. Curiosity, determination, and the courage to challenge expectations can change history. More than 2 centuries later, his legacy continues to inspire people around the world, proving that knowledge has the power to break barriers and create lasting change. They said a black athlete could only go so far, but one man outran the world's fastest runners, then became one of football's greatest stars. Even when racism tried to limit his future, he refused to slow down. He didn't just compete, he made history in 2 completely different sports. Born in Texas in 1930 and raised in San Francisco, he discovered early that he possessed extraordinary speed and athletic talent. While many people saw him as just another young black athlete, he believed he could achieve far more. In college, he became one of the nation's greatest football players. During his final season, he led the country in rushing and scoring, helping his team finish undefeated. But despite their perfect record, they were denied a major bowl invitation. Why? Because racial discrimination still influenced college football, and the team featured several outstanding black players. Instead of letting disappointment define him, he looked toward an even bigger stage. In 1952, he represented the United States at the Summer Olympics in Helsinki, competing against the fastest runners in the world. He earned a bronze medal in the 400 meters and a silver medal in the 400-meter relay. becoming one of the few athletes to win Olympic medals before beginning a professional football career. Soon after, he entered the NFL. His speed, strength, and versatility made him unlike anyone else on the field. He could run, he could catch, he could return kicks. He could even play defense. Fans were amazed by his ability to change a game in countless ways. Over 14 seasons, he became one of the NFL's biggest stars, earning multiple Pro Bowl selections and All-Pro honors. When he retired in 1966, he ranked among the league's all-time leaders in all-purpose yards, proving that his success was built on consistency as much as talent. His greatness was finally recognized when he was inducted into both the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the College Football Hall of Fame. He showed the world that excellence knows no boundaries. Whether on the running track or the football field, he refused to let racism define his future. He became one of the greatest all-around athletes of his generation. That remarkable athlete was Ali Matson. When an empire demanded her kingdom's greatest treasure, the men stayed silent. But one fearless queen stood up, gathered an army, and declared that if the men would not fight, the women would. This is the unforgettable story of Ya Asantewaa. At the turn of the 20th century, European powers were expanding their control across Africa. One of the few kingdoms determined to protect its independence was the powerful Ashanti Empire in present-day Ghana. Among its leaders was Ya, the Queen Mother of Ijasu, known for her wisdom and strength. She was respected by her people long before history remembered her as a warrior. But when her homeland faced its greatest threat, she stepped forward to lead in a way few expected. In 1900, British colonial officials demanded possession of the Golden Stool, the most sacred symbol of the Ashanti people. It was far more than a royal throne. It represented the spirit, unity, and sovereignty of the Ashanti nation. Many leaders hesitated, fearing the power of the British military. Watching her people lose confidence, Ya Asantewaa delivered a speech that would inspire generations. She declared that if the men would not defend their kingdom, then the women would rise and fight instead. Her words transformed fear into determination. Ya Asantewaa organized thousands of warriors and led the Ashanti resistance during what became known as the War of the Golden Stool. For months, her forces surrounded the British fort at Kumasi, refusing to surrender despite facing a far better equipped army. Although the British eventually brought reinforcements and defeated the resistance, Ya's courage left a lasting mark on history. She was captured and sent into exile, but her spirit of resistance never faded. 27 years later, in 1927, the Ashanti people welcomed the return of the Golden Stool, and in 1957, Ghana became the first sub-Saharan African nation to gain independence from colonial rule. What she is known for today, Ya is remembered for leading the Ashanti resistance against British colonial forces in 1900, defending the sacred Golden Stool, the symbol of Ashanti unity and sovereignty, becoming one of Africa's greatest female military leaders, inspiring future generations to stand for freedom, courage, and national pride, serving as a lasting symbol of women's leadership in African history. Ya Asantewaa proved that true leadership is measured not by titles, but by the courage to stand firm when everything is at risk. Though she faced one of the world's most powerful empires, her determination inspired a nation and secured her place as one of history's most remarkable women. More than a century later, her legacy continues to remind the world that courage can outlive even the greatest armies. Queen Nzinga, also known as Ninga or Ana de Susa, Ninga Mambandi, was a 17th century ruler of the Mbundu kingdoms of Indango and Matamba, in present-day Angola. She is remembered as a skilled diplomat, military leader, and political strategist who resisted Portuguese expansion and fought to preserve the independence of her kingdoms for decades. Born around 1582 into the royal family of Indango, Nzinga first gained prominence as a diplomat. In 1622, she represented her brother, King Ngola Mbandi, in negotiations with Portuguese authorities, demonstrating exceptional political skill. After her brother's death in 1624, she claimed the throne and faced opposition from both local rivals and Portuguese-backed claimants. Nzinga's reign was defined by her long struggle against Portuguese colonial ambitions and the destabilizing effects of the Atlantic slave trade. Forced from much of Indango, she established herself in Matamba, built new alliances, and led military campaigns that combined conventional and guerrilla tactics. She also formed strategic partnerships with groups such as the Imbangala, and later allied with the Dutch when their interests aligned against Portugal. A hallmark of Nzinga's rule was her flexibility. She negotiated treaties, converted to Christianity for diplomatic purposes under the name Ana de Susa, and corresponded with European officials while simultaneously defending her sovereignty through military force. Her ability to shift alliances and navigate complex regional politics helped her maintain power for nearly 4 decades. Nzinga died in 1663 after a reign that transformed Matamba into a significant regional power. Today, she is celebrated in Angola as a national heroine and a symbol of resistance, statecraft, and female leadership. Her life has inspired scholarly works, monuments, literature, and modern portrayals, including the 2023 documentary series African Queens. Nzinga stands out not only because she opposed colonial encroachment, but because she did so through a combination of military command, diplomatic negotiation, and political innovation. Historians often regard her as one of Africa's most influential early modern rulers, whose legacy extends across Angola, the African diaspora, and studies of women in leadership.